I watched a movie with my patrons and Twitch subscribers in the Discord last night, and it is My Son Hunter. My Son Hunter, which is a Breitbart original movie. And okay, so before we get into this, I think I want to go ahead and just reveal the sum and total of this. It's bad. It's bad. It's really not good. And my heart is a little broken because it was directed by an actor that I actually really like. Like, I really, really like this dude. I think he's cool as fuck in the roles that I've seen him in. But I gotta say, this does not do wonders for my enjoyment. It was Robert Davi. This guy. He's been in a ton of movies, and he's a very accomplished actor. I don't know why he would sign up necessarily for a Breitbart thing. Maybe he's got really shitty politics. I don't know. Kind of a pain in the butt. And some of the main actors that are in this are, I don't really know much about them. The guy who plays Hunter is an actor named Lawrence Fox, best known for the movie Hole in 2001. What is Hole? I don't know, and I don't care. The guy that got to play Joe Brandon, Dark Brandon, he was 8 years. He was on the show Dynasty. Cool. So he's a soap opera actor. Okay, cool. And then the female lead is Emma Gojkovic, and she also is not really in anything of note. She probably was the one. I mean, like, in the thing too that's really interesting. Before we even get into the okay, god damn it, I think I'm still reeling from how dumb this goddamn movie was, because my brain is barely working. I can barely talk. The actors didn't do a bad job considering what they were making. But Gina Carano is the standout of like how absolutely god awful this whole situation is, because she goes from being like one of the most beloved characters in a beloved huge mega hit, The Mandalorian, to doing this. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got it muted. Here we go. This is like the opening scene, the setting the stage.
Thanks, I needed that.
This is not a true story, except for all the facts.
So the whole thing goes into, first they're talking about mostly peaceful BLM protests and people burning shit in the streets and blah blah blah. Why they go into this? What relevance does it have? None. Does Joe Brandon sniff her? Yes. They have him sniff many people. Many people. Our opening scene with Hunter, he's going out and he's partying. He ends up at a private party where there's some strippers and all that good stuff, and that's how he meets our female lead. Of course, there's lots and lots and lots of drug use. This is supposed to be a madame who apparently identifies in different gender depending on who is interested in her. It's a pronoun. She says her pronouns. It's a pronoun joke. It's a height of comedy. That's a male nipple. Okay, we're good on that. We haven't broken terms of service yet. Let's get past all the places where we might be having some issues. So anyway, it takes a while for us to really start to get to know Hunter. About 15 minutes into the film, and it is only about an hour and 35 minutes for this film. About 15 minutes into the film, we start realizing that Hunter is a very complicated person. In fact, while he's having this scene when he's all strung out and he's talking to what will become his girlfriend, he starts mentioning things like how his brother Bo died, how all of this tragedy has happened in his life, how he feels like he can't really do anything right, and he tearfully admits that he's a drug addict and he has some of these issues and he feels like he can't measure up. And you start to feel bad for Hunter. And you're like, wow, okay, this is interesting. At least this is nuanced because they're talking about Hunter in a way that kind of humanizes him. But you have to remember that the people that are going to be watching this movie are not looking to humanize Hunter. They're looking to make fun of him and find him pathetic. So what could be, on accident, a humanizing element to a flawed and complicated character, you really quickly start to realize is just them being cruel. And it doesn't take long for that to really sink in because this is, again, we're 20 minutes in the film. He's talking about how much of a fuck-up he is and everything is awful. He's having a hard time.
What?
Isn't that like the first step to recovery? Admitting your mistakes?
I did join the Naval Reserve. But I was thrown out on my first day for having too much cocaine in my blood.
See, it's... also, I don't think that's true. This film has been called The Wolf of K Street. Oh, we got a raid. Hey, what's up? We're live. I'm talking about the film. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate you. Dan Simpson, stand-up fucking guy. Go follow him on Twitch. We watched My Son Hunter last night in Discord, and so I'm recording a review about it right now. And so, yeah, we're like, again, 22 minutes in, we're talking about how much Hunter's a fuck-up, and we're starting to feel... he did get kicked from the Naval Reserves. Was it because of cocaine? I don't know. We're starting to feel humanized for Hunter, a little bit, even though the point is cruelty. So if we keep skipping through, let's see. Then we get to this scene. This is fascinating because this actually takes up the majority of the film, is Hunter and Brandon in the back of a limo talking about all their fuck-ups. Like,
Bunch of years as vice president.
it's really annoying. It's weird. Because then they do flashbacks and they talk about this and talk about that, and it totally changes the tone of the film, and it gets really fucking weird.
It's my last chance.
Gina Carano does her absolute best impression of a piece of wood. It's pretty amazing. Oh, yeah, and then this part's not very interesting. All right, here we go. Here's some Brandon and Hunter dialogue.
Well, they tell me, according to the contract that you signed with this repair shop, they legally own the hard drive because you forgot to pick it up after 90 days.
Actually, it's 2 laptops.
So this gets into a really complicated situation, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, about the laptops and everything. It's pretty fucking weird. It's super, super fucking weird. But anyway, he starts talking about, well, what could possibly be on it, Hunter? How could you be this much of a fuck up? Well, Dad, I'm just real sorry. I was doing my best. Blah, blah, blah. We get into a couple of news clips. Here we go. Oh, God, Gina.
I've never discussed businesses with my son, my brother. As a matter of fact, anyone else. Period.
As Joe would say, that's a bologna sandwich.
Okay. I want to talk again about the tone of this film, because the tone of this film is very strange. They break the fourth wall a lot, which in a weird stylistic sort of way could be kind of interesting. Another example is like there's a point pretty early on when we're not breaking terms of service with this or anything, but when Hunter's like walking around at this one party, there's an animated heart, and his heart's pounding harder and harder and harder and harder because he's doing all the fucking cocaine, blah, 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 blah. And like it's very stylized and shit. If it maintained that for the whole movie, it might almost be kind of interesting. Like there's a scene. Tone seems like Scorsese meets Vice. I mean, there's an attempt. There's a scene where, here, like this is a great example. This is a fucking great example. Check this shit out. Hunter's so fucked up that he's talking to a doggy. He's having brain-to-brain communication with a fucking doggy. And that could be interesting and like a fun way to do it, but it does not stay that way. Like you can do a thing where like there's kind of comedy and it's fresh and it's edgy and like Gina Carano like turning and looking at the camera, blah 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 blah. But it doesn't work because the editing is not very funny. The sound engineering of it is very, very bizarre and doesn't lend to it at all. But even worse so is when Gina Carano is like turning to fucking talk to the camera and shit. She's basically just saying a bunch of really annoying. Oh yeah, and then there's a fact checks too. We'll get to that in a second. She's basically saying like edgy MAGA annoying Twitter tropes. And it's cringe.
What about drugs? Any pictures of you taking drugs?
No. I've been clean for months.
See, it could be interesting if they do it that way, but it comes across as more like, you like the way I say dog? What? It's dog. I love dogs. Anyway, yeah, it's terrible Facebook memes, the movie. I know. And the whole thing is like super fucking cringe. So then it starts getting into his Russian ties. It keeps going even further into like Devin Archer, who he worked with. Then it gets further and it starts talking about his business dealings with the Chinese in Bucharest and blah, blah, blah. And that's a huge chunk of the movie, too, is look at all these bad things that Hunter was doing. And so I'm very familiar with the leaked documents about Hunter. So I'm aware of what are the problems and what are not. And to say that this movie actually communicates in any accurate way some of the issues not even close. Doesn't come anywhere fucking close. Especially because they focus on the whole thing with the Chinese. There was no deal that was ever made with the Chinese ever actually went through with Hunter Biden. They just want to spook you with it. They want to be spooky. So it's a weird fucking choice, and it doesn't really get very compelling. But then the really, really strange shit starts happening. And I'll kind of summarize it here in just a minute. I want to see if I can get like the yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, again, like they start trying to make Hunter into this, dramatic character, and he's worthy of compassion. The Chinese thing ends up getting really fucking weird. And, basically, so the main character, not Hunter, this girl, his girlfriend, had some kind of connection with, I believe, the Uyghurs in China. And she starts talking about how, like, this, that, and the other thing, this corruption, like, really hurt people. And he needs to do the right thing. He needs to come clean. This is a way to have redemption. Tell on your dad. Do this, do that. And Hunter is like, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe I should. Okay, sure. And then he gets a call, and basically like Trump's being impeached or something like that, and suddenly nobody's going to care about the laptop, and he's like, hey, I'm off the hook. Fuck yeah, it's great. So she had been secretly recording him the whole time, and she decides to release it on the internet, and this happens. Rudy Giuliani, I'm interested in your story. Let's talk. Also, that was a really weird artifact in there. Like, they didn't do their editing super good. That's weird. Hang on, I want to see this. There's a lot of really bad editing in this. It's fucking strange. Hang on. Rudy pops up. Watch right up here. Oh shit. Where'd it go? Whatever. Oh well, not important.
Rudy Giuliani has released a recording of Hunter Biden telling all and has forced the hand of the FBI.
Ooh.
News organizations that previously were suppressing or ignoring the story of Hunter Biden's laptop are now uncovering some disturbing discoveries.
So this is where it gets into the fan fiction part of the movie, and it's really wild.
Not only private pornographic pictures, but emails
I guess maybe that pixelization was not from there, and that's probably just an encoding issue.
that may incriminate the Bidens as a crime family.
Yes, that's how news reporters talk. Very compelling.
And in other news, bad news for the Bidens. Hunter Biden, son of former Vice President Joe Biden, was arrested today by the FBI on multiple charges.
FBI, don't move!
Why me?
And then here, this is the best. This is the fucking best. This is so fucking crazy.
The numbers do not lie. President Donald Trump has won re-election by a landslide. Yes!
So that is the whole point of this movie, is if only, because keep in mind, this girl was like a stripper, so I'm not being mean by saying this. If only there was a stripper with a heart of gold in the whole situation who could have illegally taped Hunter Biden confessing to all of the things that were found in the documents, although they exaggerate a bunch of it, then Trump would have been reelected. That's the whole fucking point of the goddamn movie. That was the whole fucking point. It's how long of a span was that part of the movie? Which part? This just came like right at the fucking end, and she's like, yeah, I made the right choice. And then they start talking about like the laptop and things like that. Now, this is a sad fantasy. It is a sad fantasy. These are people like in extreme denial. It's pretty wacky. God, fucking Gina Carano is so cringe. Yeah. Let's just leave Gina on while we talk about this. Also, I don't know why they didn't put makeup on Gina Carano. It's really weird. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't in the budget. So what's just completely fucking annoying about this sort of thing is that this entire thing is based upon this make-believe of Hunter's laptop. And the reason why they keep pushing this whole narrative is because it's catchy, and that's what gets people to pay attention to it. The truth of the matter is, Hunter Biden's laptop doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It just doesn't. The idea that he takes the laptop in with potentially damaging secrets and shit and just leaves it there really doesn't make any sense. But the stuff that they found on the laptop, the leaked documents, a lot of them have been verified. A lot. And are they good? No. Are they super bad? Not really. Are they good evidence of how we should not be allowing corruption and corporate interests in our government? Yes. Yes, indeed. Hunter Biden is not a good person for any of this stuff, and you can't really debunk that there isn't something to the documents. But the laptop part of it, and them making it into this giant smoking gun, doesn't make any fucking sense. And if you take one fucking second to even compare how much Trump's children benefited from foreign dealings, including Jared Kushner getting paid by the fucking Saudis, like, it's not like Hunter's here and they're like up here, you know? It's so fucking crazy. So I don't know, man. The whole thing is so cringe. It's designed for either boomers or terminally online fucking ridoid kitties. Yeah. Are you debunking? Oh yeah, I know for sure. Pretty sure there's no laptop. Yeah, the theory, which nobody can prove, is basically that his accounts got hacked, and some people think they might know who did it, but it's all it's all guesswork. It's it's taking a shot in the dark. An informed opinion, maybe an informed opinion, but confirmed, no, not necessarily. Anyway, this movie was fucking embarrassing, absolutely fucking embarrassing. It was almost entertaining in how embarrassing and bad it was, except that there's this whole section between like Russia and China, like this whole area right here that was really fucking boring. And if they had made that a little bit more like riveting, it actually would have been enjoyable to watch as a movie, even though it's still going to be shit no matter what. Because it's I don't know, it's just cringe politics trying to make movies. Now, at some point, I'm going to be making a review of To Die For, which is done by the guy who played Bo Duke. I can't remember his fucking name now. Jesus Christ. To Die For 2022. John Schneider. That movie is absolute giga cringe. Giga cringe. And I've only seen a little bit of it so far, but I think me and Memory are going to do it together. But that'll be on my third channel, World of Holiday. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, people who made this movie should be embarrassed, and Gina Carano should be at the top of that fucking list. What the fuck?